Hello everyone, welcome to the VTF Bootcamp. My name is Jeffrey Martins and I'm here to provide you with an overview of Splunk. Splunk the company, but also the software and technologies we put out there. Since this is a security bootcamp, I'll do my best to emphasize our security and observability products. And my objective here with this presentation is to get you the real dimension of what Splunk is and how you can be a part of it. Before we go any further, a quick disclaimer on forward-looking statements, right? Everything I say here today reflects the present. The future, well, no one knows the future for sure, right? So the characteristics of the products I will mention here might change in the future to better suit the needs of our customers. Not a big deal, just a heads up to you all. So a little bit about me. My name is Jeffrey Martins, and I'm Brazilian, but I live in Vancouver, Canada. I've been working with Splunk for the past 9 years in different roles, right? I used to be an instructor teaching Splunk to the masses, spreading the word out there. I also worked as a professional services consultant, go into customers, solving their problems, uh, um, implementing Splunk, different Splunk environments. And for the past year, I'm the senior manager for the engineering department of Splunk Global Impact. I have a master's degree in computing sciences. I'm a PhD student, fighting, struggling to get my PhD out the door. And, I've been working with Splunk for a long time. Even before I joined the company, I used to be a Splunk architect at another company. So that's me, guys. I'm Jeffrey Martins, and my email is up there, gmartins@splunk.com. If you ever want to contact me, if you want to know something, if you want to ask any questions, please don't hesitate in contacting me, gmartins@splunk.com. It will be my pleasure to answer you. My team at Splunk is called Global Impact. Global Impact is the branch of Splunk dedicated to give back, to do good. We work with nonprofits, educational institutions, universities, and we have many different programs to reach the community in different ways. We provide free training to those who need it. We provide free licenses and support of our products to nonprofits and universities. We also provide workforce and we develop projects with organizations who come to us with great ideas. This bootcamp you're taking is a beautiful example of partnership between Splunk Global Impact and VTF to provide you with free quality training. If you want to learn more about what we do, or even if you are involved with a nonprofit organization and have that great idea for a project involving data that can cause real impact, check our website at splunkglobalimpact.com. So, what is Splunk? Splunk's mission is to help enable companies to build a safer and more resilient digital world. I want you to think about these terms for a minute, right? Safer means your information, your data, your intelligence will be protected from prying eyes and from those who might want to leak it or use it for nefarious purposes. Resiliency, on the other hand, means stay alive, stay on business, even under adverse conditions. You're under attack, your servers stop, network is unstable, but the operation remains up. Security and resilience are much coveted commodities nowadays. Every company wants and needs these things now more than ever. But how many are really able to deliver? The reality is that today all businesses depend and rely on the digital. It's not even only about computers anymore. We have all sorts of devices. We have tablets, smartwatches, sensors monitoring where we are and what we do. Constant flows of data going straight to the cloud, mapping your behavior. Such data is crunched, analyzed, chiseled into information, and then fed back to you. The systems in charge of all that need to be secure, reliable, and adaptable. And this is what we want to bring to you, the companies you work or will work for. But the truth is, being resilient is no easy feat, right? Company environments grow more complex each day with more applications, more services exchanging information, feeding each other, and each time higher and higher data volumes. With more services up, we also need more people to develop and maintain such services, and these teams might not communicate and work well with each other, right? And on top of all that, we have the laws and regulations that are becoming more and more complex. We have data protection laws, we have data privacy laws. Each company has specific guidelines plus state and federal laws, not even mentioning other countries. Maybe, if your company operates in more than one. It's not easy at all, but here at Splunk, we like this kind of challenge. In order to better illustrate the situation, so you can understand the complexities, say we want to publish one service, our service web portal, a simple portal our users will access right through their web browser. Say this web portal is built in Python, JavaScript, React. The portal is a piece of code, but the portal cannot stand on its own. So the portal needs a web server to run on. So we have to get the portal code installed on a web server like Apache, IIS, Nginx, you name it. The web server cannot stand on its own as well, which means the web server needs to run on top of an operating system, the guest operating system as we will call here. You see, we are creating a dependency, a chain of dependencies where the operating system needs to be in order for the web server to work properly, and the web server needs to be in order for the web portal to work properly. But it doesn't stop here. Say, for example, our company is into virtualization. So the operating system here is running on a virtual machine. We have a hypervisor system like VM or like VirtualBox working, right? These virtual machines. The hypervisor runs on top of the host operating system. The host operating system runs on top of real hardware. You see, the pile goes higher and higher and higher. We have many moving parts, all these pieces depending on each other. Each one of these pieces, each one of the parts has to be installed, configured. You have to set up security for each one of the parts. You have to be able to monitor each part individually. So when a customer comes to you and the customer says, okay, my portal experience is not good. Every link I click, it takes like 8 to 10 seconds for the page to respond. Where is the problem? The problem can be on any of the levels, and if any of the levels you see here doesn't work well, it affects all the levels above. Say the guest operating system is not working properly, it will affect the quality of the web server, and in turn, it will affect the quality of the web portal and ultimately the experience. We need to be able to see it all. We need to be able to secure it all. And this is a very simple example. I'm pretty sure the companies you work for, the company you will work for, will have way, way more complex services and chains of dependencies. And the only way to keep everything working is to be able to see everything. And it doesn't stop with software and hardware. People are also part of the equation. For example, if you get a ticket that says the portal is not working well, the different layers you saw on a previous slide might be handled by different people, right? So the engineers and developers, they will look at the source code for the portal, while the IT team and the operations team might be focused on the machines, the hypervisor, the hardware, etc. Security will be all over the place. Audit will be checking up on all of these teams and making sure they are working well, they are working the way they're supposed to work. You see, people are a very important part of the equation, and the same way we have to make all of the software working synchrony like an orchestra. So the same is true to people. The same is true to people handling, installing, configuring, and troubleshooting all of this. So how do you prepare for detect, respond to, and ultimately recover from digital disruptions? That's the question we help our customers answer. Organizations need a foundation of digital resiliency. All that said, I present you Splunk. Splunk is the key to enterprise resilience. Splunk will help you mature your security and observability capabilities so your mission critical systems will stay secure and reliable. How so? First, Splunk empowers organizations to prevent incidents from becoming major issues with comprehensive visibility into all their systems. Remember all of the levels I showed you before? We need to see them all. We need to secure them all. And that's exactly what we do. Second, we help absorb shocks because incidents are bound to occur. That's the reality. Incidents will happen, and the real difference is how we get out of the incidents, right? With Splunk, the organizations improve the mean time to detection and mean time to recovery so they can get back up and running much faster. And third, with Splunk, organizations can accelerate digital transformation and reimagine how they can serve their customers with confidence. And this is how we improve our digital resilience. It starts with comprehensive visibility. Acquire data from every level, every subsystem, everywhere. Get quality data. Quality data leads to rapid detection and rapid investigation. We can detect faster, we can investigate faster, and when the time comes to take action, we have an optimized response. Sometimes we can even automate the response. Splunk provides the tools for automation as well. So this is our unified security and observability platform. Starting from the bottom, we get data from any source, literally any source. If you can generate data, Splunk can ingest such data. Then it doesn't matter the format of the data, if it's events or logs or metrics or traces, it gets into the Splunk platform, which provides with streaming capabilities, machine learning, fantastic machine learning capabilities, the machine learning toolkit and others, scalable index, search and visualization. By the way, this is what you guys are doing at the boot camp, right? Search and visualization. You get raw data, you transform such data to generate information, and then you expose it as visualizations. That's what you guys are doing with this boot camp. Plus, collaboration and orchestration. This is the platform, and built on top of the platform, we have our main objectives: security and observability. I want you to think a little bit about this, right? Security and observability. the data you ingest for one is exactly the same data you ingest for the other. That's why security and observability, they walk hand to hand, right? Say, for example, you ingest operating system logs. You get logs from the operating system. You can use them for observability. You can analyze the operating system logs and know what happened at the operating system level. But you can also use the very same information for security. You analyze the log entries and you know, for example, if you had an unauthorized attempt to the operating system. It's the same information, two very powerful use cases. Splunk delivers security built in. We have several applications. We're going to talk about them in a minute. And Splunk also delivers ready-made observability. But if you want to extend and customize, you can. Aside from the ready-made solutions for security and observability, uh, we have our app store, community built, almost 3,000 apps on Splunk Base. Splunkbase.splunk.com. If you want to go there, we have apps for everything. Really, we have apps for everything. It doesn't matter what your company uses. We have an app for that. And if you want, you can build your own apps as well. We provide with all of the toolkits and all of the information necessary. If you want to code your own apps, if you want to build tailor-made for your company, tailor-made for your customer. So our platform is complete. We have ready-made solutions, and if you wish to customize, if you wish to build upon, you can as well. And remember, people are a very, very important part of the equation, right? SecOps, IT ops, DevOps, the different teams responsible by different areas, different layers in the whole process, all of them can benefit from the features we are able to offer, right? And since you're here for security, I cannot miss, security monitoring, compliance, incident management, advanced threat detection, automation, fraud analytics and detection, all that for the security ops professional, all that we are able to offer with our platform. And same goes for IT ops and DevOps and so on. So, deep diving in these areas, starting with observability, think of observability as the evolution of monitoring. It's way, way more, way, way better than simply monitoring systems. When things are well, observability is the way to say, okay, my business is running well because my infrastructure, my software, my services are running well. And when things are not well, right, say for example, one of your servers is offline or one of your servers is not working properly, how much of my business is affected by that server not being working properly? If there's a problem, I can pinpoint the location of the problem. It will speed up diagnostic, it will speed up the fixes, and most importantly, speed up the recovery and get back to 100% health on my business. That's observability. As for security, since you are all here for security, I want to deep dive a little bit and talk about the software we provide, right? I want to start with enterprise security. So Splunk Enterprise Security is a very powerful app for CM, collection of events and generation of intelligence upon the events, right? The power of enterprise security relies on the fact that enterprise security collects data from all of your security applications. So if you have IDS, intrusion detection systems, get the logs in. If you have uh, security scanners, get the logs in. Logs from the operating system, logs from firewalls, routers, get it all here, and enterprise security will analyze all of these logs together and provide you superior information that's much better than examining these logs separately. So enterprise security is our CM solution, security information in event management. We also have another software called UBA. UBA user behavioral analytics, UBA is about insider threats. What's an insider threat? Some of you might know, but I'm going to say it anyway. An insider threat is a person who works for the same company as you do, a person that you are supposed to trust, but that person is working for the enemy. Sometimes willingly, right? Sometimes the person is, there with the intent of doing bad things, or sometimes, unwillingly. It's very possible, right? This is the person, for example, who finds a USB drive on the parking lot, takes the USB drive inside and plugs into a company computer, right? And thinking, oh my God, so some colleague lost this USB drive, and in fact, this person is contaminating the company with malware. UBA uses machine learning, very, very advanced machine learning, to detect possible insider threats in your company. SOAR, of all these applications, SOAR is my favorite one. SOAR stands for Security Orchestration, Automation, and Response. SOAR is about the response. Once Splunk Enterprise or Enterprise Security finds something, do you wish to automate the recovery? For example, SOAR is capable of talking to many other applications, appliances, software, hardware, you name it. SOAR can communicate with them and take action. Quick action, much faster than a human doing it manually. SOAR is security automation part of the Splunk platform, right? All that with a modern and unified work surface and with integrated threat intelligence. What's the meaning of integrated threat intelligence? It means that any of these applications, they can connect to intelligence sources. So we're talking about security companies, security researchers who publish information about new threats, zero-day threats, you name it. All of these applications, they can connect to such sources of information and keep themselves up to date with the latest threats. So when it comes to security, Splunk is what you can find of most modern and powerful to keep your enterprise, to keep your company really, really safe. And all these applications, they benefit from streaming, real-time capabilities, machine learning. Our machine learning, it's not because I'm a data scientist, but I have to say our machine learning is fantastic, especially the security machine learning. We can detect certain events before they even happen. How cool is that? We can detect that something is about to happen based on the information we are receiving, right? The evidence we are receiving from the sources, right? Scalable index, search and visualization capabilities, like the searches, like the reports you are building in this boot camp, all that, plus collaboration and orchestration. This forms our platform, the unified security and observability platform at Splunk. And to give you a better idea on how each one of these pieces of software are positioned, right? Have you ever heard of an OODA loop? OODA, right? This is a military term, in fact, a military term created by Air Force Colonel John Boyd. OODA stands for Observe, Orient, Decision Making, and acting, right? Make the decision and then act. The steps before doing anything, right? He created for the military, but it applies to anything in your life, and it's not different for Splunk. So first step, observe. And when it comes to Splunk, observe means collect data. Collect all of the data you can from as many sources as possible. Bring all the data here. Then orient. Orient is about uh, manipulating this data, understanding this data, and extracting information from all of the data you obtained. Uh, Splunk Enterprise and Splunk Enterprise Security, they are built for the first two O's, right? Observe and orient. Splunk Enterprise and Enterprise Security capture data and transform data, generates reports, generates dashboards, all the information you might need. From this point on is decision making. So you know you are properly informed by your reports, by your dashboards, by the information you generated. You have to make decisions. And once you make a decision on what to do, you will act on the decision. The application in charge of decision making and acting is Splunk SOAR. Splunk SOAR, that application for automation I told you about, Splunk SOAR is the application that will take the information obtained by Splunk Enterprise Security, make decisions on top of this information, and finally taking action. So, say, for example, based on the data you acquired, one of your reports in Splunk Enterprise says you had an unauthorized access attempt. Splunk Enterprise can send this message to Splunk SOAR, and Splunk SOAR will make decisions and act on this message. For example, right, we got a message, SOAR got a message that says an unauthorized access was attempted from a certain IP address. SOAR can connect to the firewall and ask the firewall to create a rule to block that IP immediately. Something else that SOAR can do, SOAR can make decisions. For example, we get this message, an unauthorized access attempt came from a certain IP. SOAR can connect, for example, to an IP to country service, an internet service, and ask, what's the country for this IP? And the online service will answer SOAR, oh, this IP belongs to North Korea. And then a decision has to be made, right? And then some logic will be coded into Splunk SOAR that will say if the IP belongs to North Korea, Iran, or Sudan, block the connection, otherwise let the connection happen. You see, decision making leading to action. Splunk SOAR will cover the last two letters, the D and the A of the OODA loop. How cool is that? And because we are able to provide all that, Splunk is recognized as a leader in security and observability. This year, for example, we have earned the proverbial triple crown by being recognized as the leader in security by Gartner, IDC, and Forrester. This is quite an achievement, I have to say. This is huge to us. On the observability side, Constellation, GigaOM, and Research and Action, each one of them recognized us as top leaders in the observability market. We are very proud of that, really. We are very proud, and we continue to improve and make our applications better and better to ensure you will have all the best when it comes to observability and security, to provide more and more value to our customers. And you can be a part of it, of course, right? You are here, you're playing with Splunk, you can be a part of it. And besides all we talked about, we also have a massive community of very passionate Splunk users around the world that your teams can learn from, whether they are new to Splunk or even, seasoned practitioners. Um, your teams can ask questions. We have Splunk Answers for that, a big forum, online forum. You go there, you ask your question, and I guarantee you will get an answer quickly. You can meet other Splunk users. We have regional events. We have user group events. Where you live, you can meet other Splunkers, and I'm pretty sure after the pandemic, we all want to meet new people, right? I hope. So our community is the best. That's all I can say. We have also the partner network, so other companies who work with Splunk, who adhere to our standards, and they can provide many services such as Splunk installation, configuration, professional services, consultancy, you name it. We have a very powerful partner network. Customer success and education, we exist to ensure you succeed, especially education, right? And I'm biased because I used to work for education, but Splunk Education, they have courses on everything. You want to learn Splunk, you want to learn how to do security with Splunk, any of the tools I mentioned here, and a lot more. Uh, EDU, Splunk Education is what you're looking for. So customer success and education. Professional services, if your company needs a Splunk professional, someone that is certified, someone who knows Splunk, to install Splunk to solve problems, professional services we can provide any company with seasoned professionals for every need. And search is pretty much the same, but for security. We have security professionals who can analyze your environment, suggest, best security practices, suggest changes, and even implement such changes, get Splunk and all of these applications to work in your environment. We provide a lot, and I wanted you guys to know such things exist. With all that said, I am very proud to say we are in 92 of the Fortune 100 and many, many more companies. We are everywhere, and Splunk is getting bigger, Splunk is expanding, and I want you to be a part of it. You're here, you're learning Splunk, you're taking the first steps, and I wish that you don't stop here, right? I wish you to keep taking training, keep developing your education, deep dive into security or observability, maybe even both, right? I want you to become part of our ecosystem. I want you to become a valuable member of our community. Splunk is for you. Splunk is for everybody. Well, that's it. So forgive me for my accent. I know my English is far from perfect, but I think, I managed to get the point across to give you an idea of what Splunk is, what Splunk represents, the software, the fantastic technology we put out there, and especially that I want you to be a part of it. I want you to become a Splunk professional. I want you to continue your studies, study observability, study security. Why not both, right? The point is, the doors are open for you, and I want you to become a Splunk professional. So, my email is on screen, gmartins@splunk.com. If you have any questions, if you want to know more, anything at all, don't hesitate in contacting me. Have a fantastic day, everybody. See ya. Bye bye.